We'll call the meeting to order at 7 o'clock. Please stand for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We will open the public hearing, ordinance 2025-G.
Okay, you open it at 7:02, I think, yeah?
Yeah, sure, 7:01 and 7:02, I don't...
Okay, we've talked about this for a couple council meetings here. The trainers are requesting that we have them exempt from the franchise fee that they pay monthly. They're in business, only a few months of the year, so rather than paying all 12 months of the franchise fee. Working with CenterPoint on this is kind of a common thing that CenterPoint's working on with some of their grain dryer customers. What we do tonight is if we adopt this ordinance, we are making it effective September 1st, 2025, that agricultural grain dryer customers in all customer classifications shall be exempt from the franchise fee. And once this is adopted tonight, I will send the information to CenterPoint. I think they have so many days to make the arrangements and stuff work for the customer. I do want to point out one thing real quick. If you look at the very first page of the ordinance, number 4, it references notices to the city of Janesville shall be mailed at, and that is a private residential address, so we will get that fixed. We'll fix page 1 to have it be City Hall address. You see that on number 4 there?
I had some concerns and questions earlier regarding this whole ordinance, or when it was first proposed to us, talking about tariffs and why the city had to be a part of it. Minigasco, or CenterPoint Energy now, does pay royalties to the city to do business inside their community, along with all the other utilities, the phone and the TV people and everybody else. So Clinton showed me the amount that CenterPoint has paid so far this year. It is a sizable amount, and it changes my opinion on this whole deal, and I think we should go forward and approve this exemption for the grain dryers.
Was that a motion?
I'll make it a motion, yeah.
Okay.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. That's a motion with, change,
The address change, yeah.
item number
Yep.
4.
Yep.
Close the public hearing at 7:05. Do we have any changes or additions to the agenda?
No.
Motion to approve.
All in favor?
Aye.
Consent agenda?
Yeah, you have 2 sets of minutes from the special meeting and then the regular meeting prior to that. I do want to point out, we will fix page 1 of both sets of minutes, it says that member Andy Arnold called the meeting to order, but it was the other Andy, so we'll fix that. And then you have the accounts payable and accounts receivables in here. Any questions?
One thing I noticed going through the budget on the income and the expenses, our expenses, anytime it says insurance, we seem to be over budget on them by about 25% right now. Now, I understand that we have problem getting a insurance quote while we're budgeting, but I'm wondering, it's been that way for the 3 years I've been on, if we shouldn't be budgeting more for insurance so that we're not showing that we're over all the time.
Yeah, and to make another point too, a lot of our insurance premiums are due in the spring of every year, so you're gonna look at the line item and you're gonna see now, like today in October, 100% or more has been spent, but the premiums are due like in, I think it's in March or April, something like that, so they're all paid in full now. If there's some changes to some of these line items, it may be because a different employee is here, so the workers' comp changed from the previous fall, you know, things like that. But yeah, we can certainly,
It was just something
Yeah.
that I wanted to question, and you know, if you know, we've got that percent of budget column, and as you read down there, anytime it's at 125%, it's an insurance issue. So that's why I'm thinking that we should be budgeting another 20 or 25% for those columns. We still have time for budgeting yet this year, so we don't have
Yeah.
to address it tonight.
Well, a lot of our insurance numbers won't come in till December either, so.
Right, yeah.
And yeah, there's still some work to do on the budget, so.
Yep. I just wanted to make the rest of the council members aware of what I was thinking.
I have a question on page 3, for this MW2 recreation for 14 grand. Is that the new equipment, or what's that miscellaneous for?
Minnesota, Wisconsin playground equipment, that's the new.
That is the new
Yep.
equipment.
Part of the new.
And the monthly state, or deal, Mankato Motorsports, it looks like a 2025 Can-Am.
Yes, that's ATV for the park and street department, half went to from the park fund, and half went from the street department fund, that was.
And that was something that was, budgeted?
Yep, that was
All right.
budgeted for 2025.
I make a motion, we accept, the consent agenda.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
401, I will abstain. Public forum? Anyone wish to speak through public forum tonight? Public forum? Noticing communications.
Yeah, I did add one here, since your packets were delivered last week, the League of Cities, their magazine came in, so give that to you tonight. And that's all I have for notices, communications.
Council reports?
The only report I had was from the Golf Advisory Board meeting, which, I got caught up at work and I was unable to attend, but might be able to.
We are gonna meet again at the end of October, the last week of October, Wednesday the 29th. And the advisory board will look at some budget ideas and some, equipment ideas and scheduling. So we'll do that in a couple weeks.
And Kevin, hopefully will be there for that meeting.
Yeah.
We had the EDA meeting before, or earlier today. One of the topics of discussion was, music in the park. And, Caitlin has done a survey on the, farmer's market, vendors. She had 12 vendors applied to be here. She sent them all a survey. She got 7 results back. They were all positive. Yes, most of those vendors are open to coming back next year. Probably a 5 o'clock start. Possibly every week, even on the weeks there's not music, they would be here. They would like to have someplace they could go on rainy days. If it gets rained out, the vendors that have made baked goods kinda need to get rid of them anyway. So that was their concern. You were there, what else did we do on the EDA? We didn't really...
Moving forward with the business challenge a little bit, trying to get new ideas on that.
Yep. So,
We're not able to, you haven't been able to receive any bids on fixing the walls up at 109 North Main. Certainly not for lack of trying, but, so that's currently at a standstill. We're gonna keep trying, I guess that's all we can say.
that's all there was from there. So,
Park board, we didn't really talk about much, we just kinda spitballed some ideas on how to improve the parks. Nothing real concrete. Definitely some pipe dreams there. Planning commission hasn't met for a while.
Nursing home meeting next week, so.
Okay. Utility commission met tonight. Everything's still moving forward with our electrical upgrade, which we'll actually get some of that on the agenda tonight. We had a water main break, which was fixed by city staff, so nothing real serious in the utility department right now. Administrator report.
Yes, attached to the report for this meeting is a reconciliation statement for September, the bank. We also have the cash balance report dated last Friday, the 10th. We did receive the invoice from Waste Management for the citywide cleanup that we had this fall. We were charged $5,150. Last year, we were charged about $2,000 more than that. So there was a little bit of less expense this year. And I guess I think we should probably determine if we want to budget for this every year, or if we want to maybe try to do an every other year thing. I mean, it wasn't as expensive as, the last year, so, sorry.
Well, it looks like, obviously, the cost and the tonnage is on a downward trend. I think, maybe people are getting caught up with some of the stuff they had left.
If you go every other year, you're gonna have more tonnage, though.
Yeah, but this has been every year, and we're still dropping. So I guess we're sitting at around a 13% increase right now. That would be something we could probably take out of next year's budget and try to look at it in every other year. We're gonna have some work to do on the budget this year. That would be an easy one for me, I guess.
If we put it back in, can we do something like maybe have people pay a flat rate for certain things? Have it
Yeah.
be cheaper, so it's cheaper than having to go to the dump in Sika, but still having them have to pay some sort of a flat fee, so then we're not picking up the full cost of it.
Yeah.
Like a flat fee for dumping anything, or just for
Well,
certain items?
like size items, maybe have set fee for different things. You know, if something's gonna be bigger, have a set fee for, you know, maybe weight or something like that. You know, we can brainstorm, look into it, but I'm just saying, anything could be a little bit cheaper than having them to have to drive it to Waseca, you know, have the option.
Well, and the
of having
convenience
it.
option too.
Yeah, convenient of having it here.
Or maybe just talk with the waste management people and see if they have a thought on it. I mean, obviously, I don't know, we wanna sit, it takes time to weigh every single thing, but
Right.
maybe they have an idea, maybe they do it in other cities, I don't know.
Sure, sure.
Maybe check in with them on it, that's a good idea, Sarah.
For the remainder of my report here for you, Kevin Cumberland with the clubhouse manager will begin Monday, October 27th. All employees did fill out the open enrollment information for our new health insurance with Blue Cross and Blue Shield. That's all been submitted, so they're working on getting all that set up, and I just want to point out that the employer-paid health premiums for next year actually decreased, because we had some changes with certain individual coverages and things like that, so basically the health insurance line item overall decreased, so that's a good thing. Boards and commission vacancies, that is in our current newsletter. Attached information on which board seats expire this year. Individuals have until Wednesday, December 3rd to apply, and then the council will make all appointments at the December 8th council meeting. The only other thing I have for you is that we did contact the individuals who offered some paint bids for the library, and the one lowest bid is still gonna honor that number. And we did get, what's it called? Free paint on Main Street. What's it called? Smith. Paint Your Town. Thank you. That sounded so much better than what I just said. So we will get paint at no charge, and then, you know, he's gonna honor that price, so I think I'll just call him and say, you know, let's schedule it, let's get it done.
Okay.
So I will do that. That's all I have for the administrator report tonight.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Electric certificates.
Yes, a couple meetings ago, George was here to discuss the debt limit that we are allowed to take out for improvements with the electric utility. So that cover letter from early September, I put back in the packet for you to review. And then the attached resolution number 14 offers the equipment certificate bond for just a little over $4 million. That's the same dollar amount we talked about in September. And then once this is adopted tonight, I need to fill out some more information, and I have to send some material to Michael for the paper. So I just talked to him before the meeting started. We'll get all that lined up tomorrow.
Motion to adopt resolution 2025-14.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Paid family medical leave policy.
Yes, working with Jason Moran and then with also the Council of Governments on this new Minnesota paid family medical leave law that goes into effect January of next year. We need to have a policy in place that we will put in our personnel policy. So the first part of tonight's agenda item is that, the policy itself. And then we're also required by December 1st, we have to give all employees the official notice that the new benefit begins in January. So that is also attached for you to review. One thing I do want to point out is that this is obviously a state-run program, so the benefit will be coming through the state, the payments. If you are on paid leave, your check is not gonna be 100% of what your wages are. You know, it's a graduated percentage of what you're earning. The state law, the rate right now is 0.88% of your wages goes to this program. State law says that the employer has to pay a minimum of half that. So we recommend that the employer pay 0.44%, and then the employee pays 0.44, which would be basically a deduction from their payroll. Personnel Committee had been talking about this earlier, about having the city cover the entire 0.88. After looking into that a little bit more, it was found that if the employer pays more than the required minimum 4.4, the employee has to pay an additional income tax because it's something extra that they earned. I'm thinking that would kind of be a payroll nightmare for software. So I suggest that we stick with the 0.88 for now.
0.44.
Sorry, yeah, 0.44 for
Splitting
now.
it.
Yeah.
Gotcha. And then they don't have to claim it?
Correct.
Okay.
You can go with a private company as well. There's a few out there that the rates are a little smaller, but I didn't really get into that too much. I would think that the very first year, let's go with the state program. I'm sure there's going to be some changes to it. The rates may go up in July of 2026. That's possible. So is it okay, if it's okay with you, I think we, let's go with the state program for the first year. And if you are comfortable with both of these documents tonight, we could have a motion to approve these, or if you want to bring them home, read through them, if you have any questions, you know, let Sarah, Joe, or I know. We can always vote on this at the next meeting. It has to be done by December 1.
Is this a mandatory program for the employees, or can they opt out?
Mandatory.
All right.
In lieu of this, could we maybe have the Personnel Committee, circle back to the ESST policy that was put into place? I believe that we've got a little bit more information that has come out with that policy, and that we could maybe go back to accruing the sick time instead of front-loading the 80 hours. When that all came out, I think the city actually had a good policy in place, but because the state wasn't very clear about it, we opted to take the 80-hour front-loaded when we could have actually kept what we had in place, and they kept accruing their sick time. But I feel like if the state's possibly going to give somebody 20 weeks of paid time, and we front-load another 80 hours onto that, that's a 22-week time period that somebody could have off, and say 2 people in the city took that off, we could potentially bankrupt the city by having people gone and then having to have people replaced. And we're kind of in a budget crunch right now, and I just think we should have maybe the Personnel Committee look into that and see if we can maybe accrue our hours, the city accruing their hours instead of having that front-loaded at the beginning of the year. It would just go back to the way it was before.
Okay.
If that's possible.
We can look into that.
I'll try to get us together in the next couple of weeks then, before the next meeting.
Sounds good. Should be pretty flexible for the most part.
Okay. Are you comfortable with what you have in front of you tonight, or do you want me to put this back on the agenda in a couple weeks? You wanna, I mean, if you wanna review it, and if you have any questions, just come on in and chat with us, you know, need some more clarification on things.
I think we should circle back on this.
Okay.
Because our options are this or private, right?
Yep.
And what does the private necessarily do?
Um,
I did a little research on
Is it MetLife?
That's one of them.
Because that's what they're doing over there.
Okay. Yeah, the private company that would run this basically goes through all the claim process, all of the number crunching as far as the benefit paid, they do all of that.
But then you have to pay them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so let's,
Put it on for 2 weeks from now.
okay.
And we'll get the personnel committee together before that.
All right, fair enough.
We have a couple of donations to accept.
Yeah, third quarter donations, we have a grand total of 3 of them from the last few months, so resolution number 15 identifies those. And you guys, you'd be very proud of me this time. I whited out all the account and routing numbers this time.
Good job.
Last council meeting that we had these, everybody's account was,
Governmental transparency, yay!
we're just being dumb. All right.
Motion to approve resolution 2025-15.
Second?
All in favor?
Yeah.
I'm not doing a very good job following up here.
Permit for Waseca Area Hockey Foundation.
Waseca Area Hockey Association has contacted me. They are asking for a premise permit for charitable gambling at the Purple Goose. In order for that to happen, the city council needs to approve this state form. And I worked with Josh Lynch from the Hockey Association on this. If you can make a motion to approve this, I can sign the back and I'll get the resolution to him tomorrow.
I didn't see any dates on here. Is it a annual thing, or, is it a one-time deal?
They'll have scheduled events,
Just,
kind of like bingos and raffles and things
they
like
won't
that.
be doing, pull tabs or,
They don't plan on that now.
Oh, okay. That was my, gotcha.
yeah.
But it's the same thing where, what is it, 50% gets donated,
Yep,
50% gets donated back to the city,
yep.
or some type of city charitable thing.
So yes, the resolution number 16 approves the premise permit.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Eh,
Fire Department relief contribution level.
Yes, Jeremy Earler, President of the Relief, is here tonight. Jeremy, I'm gonna put this presentation up here quick. And they do have a copy, paper copy of it, so.
Okay. Wonderful. Thanks, everyone, for inviting me in to speak about the increase that the Firefighter Relief Association is asking for. So, why I'm here tonight is the Janesville Firefighters Relief Association provides essential benefits and financial security to our dedicated volunteer firefighters upon retirement, disabilities, or death. These funds are critical for attracting and retaining the brave individuals who protect our communities. We currently receive an annual contribution of $2,400. So, through some work that we've done, there's been there's some changing in the financial landscape. Administrative costs and state fire aid have been consistently increasing at about 3.5% annually. This erodes the value of our current contributions. Market volatility, while we project a conservative 5% rate of return on our investments, this is not guaranteed and can fluctuate. And the other part is recruitment and retention. To remain competitive and properly reward the firefighters, we need to ensure our benefits remain robust. Current contribution level is no longer sufficient to keep pace with these factors. So our request is we respectfully request an increase in the Minnesota Fire State Aid contribution through the City of Janesville to the Janesville Fire Department Relief Association. Our proposed increase is from $2,400 a year to $2,800, starting fiscal year '26. It is a $400 increase, approximately 16.7%. The increase is a proactive measure to ensure long-term sustainability for the Janesville Fire Department Relief Association. The next page that you're seeing in there is the financial impact on the City of Janesville. This came to us from the State Auditor's Office, so it assumes a 3.5% increase on state fire aid and administrative expenses. The rate of return of the Janesville Relief Association was set at 5% to be conservative. The projections are not set in stone. Market conditions that affect these investments and member retirements can dictate a municipal contribution are required. So if you look at the chart at the bottom, with the contributions the city gets through state fire aid and the investments that we're making as a relief association, there wouldn't be any cost to the city to do this increase until we got to $2,900. So that's why we're asking for $2,800. If we did go to $2,900, it would cost the city $536 a year. However, I think with the way our investments have been over the last 5 years, just looking back a short term, there wouldn't be a contribution because we've done so well with investments. State fire aid has increased an average of 8.37% over the past 4 years. The Janesville Relief Association return on investments has averaged a positive 9.26 return on over the last 5 years. This information does recognize that the Firefighters Relief Association has 9 members that have 20 years of service in the Janesville Fire Department and are eligible to retire for retirement payment or deferred payment until the age of 50. We're always looking for a secure and strong department, so we're looking for financial stability, firefighter morale, community safety, and being proactive versus reactive. So, in conclusion, the Janesville Fire Department Relief Association is a cornerstone to our community's safety. Our request to increase the municipal contribution from $2,400 to $2,800 is a necessary and responsible step. This increase accounts for the rising costs and ensures our ability to provide. For our firefighters, this investment will not negatively impact the city's budget and is a direct investment in the safety and well-being of the City of Janesville. So, we respectfully request the City Council approve to increase the Janesville Fire Department Relief Association contribution for fiscal year '26.
Any input?
So there's no cost to us if we keep it at 28, or,
So
the
if these 9 firefighters retire next year,
We're still fine.
and we pay out $350,000, that's gonna drop our principal down that much, and you think it still covers?
Yes. From the information we've gained from our investments in the State Auditor's Office. I would also reassure you that we're not going to have 9 firefighters resign next year. To my knowledge, there's only one that is retiring next year.
I've got in front of me here that the times that you've came to us for this over the past, well, just even the last 5 years since I've been mayor. I'm wondering if there's a simpler way to do it, where we would set a percentage and just do it every single year. You know, like a cost of living type raise, so you don't have to keep coming to us. What is council's thoughts on that? You guys can pipe in, you can't vote, but you can still give your opinion. Still respect your guys' opinion. Or hers. Sarah's for sure. Yeah.
If there's a simpler way, sure, why not? Definitely firefighters shouldn't have to come and beg to be taken care of.
Exactly, you wouldn't have to do this.
I like to see him do it.
This stuff is easy for me.
It's communication between the two groups, so between the firefighters and the council, and aside from that and the pancake breakfast, we don't see a lot of guys unless we have a fire.
Right. But if
Some
you'd like,
business at 8 a.m.
if you'd like us to do
Yeah.
reports, we could, I'm sure you could
Maybe.
talk to our, or the fire chief about
Yeah.
doing
I mean,
some reports.
your fire chief is here twice a year.
What is the cost of living increase rate right now? Is it 4%?
Roughly, yeah. I just did, if you did 5% of 2,400, it's $120.
Yeah. 4% would be $96. So it'd be $120 this year, and it would be $136 next year. It would continue to grow your number year by year.
Mhm.
And that would be coming off the current 2,400?
Yeah.
Or that's
It would
what you
start-
would base...
That's where we're at now, so we'd base it off the 24. So this year would be a 5%, next year would be 5% of 25-20.
Yep.
Following year, you know, it would continually increase. I like that because it has some structure to it and it's simple. That's just one guy's opinion.
Doing it that way makes it harder to, not do it on years where we have a tight budget. And,
This isn't anything we budget in, really in for
yeah,
anyways,
so.
And you understand what Jeremy's talking about, right? If there's a good return, or if there's a good audit report, then the city, does not contribute to the relief.
Right.
But if there is a year where
they fall short, we
they
are
fall short,
responsible.
then we are
Right.
responsible. And that comes from the state office, or state auditor's office, the numbers they crunch it's a number we get from St. Paul. So it's not a Jeremy or Clinton thing, it's what St. Paul said. I didn't mean to pick on you, sorry.
No, that's
But
fine.
It's a St. Paul number.
Right. I've been on the fire department 11 years, and we've had positive investments all 11 years.
I've been on 24 years, and I don't believe we've had a negative investment since I've been on.
My biggest problem with it is, don't get me wrong, I love the fire department, I love what they do for the city, but we've constantly done $100 to $200. To go to $400, is that, not look the greatest for the people that just retired last year and the year before? All of a sudden, that's a big jump.
It is, but does it keep members on longer too? The ones that are thinking about retiring, are they gonna stay on longer too?
I don't know.
kind of new information that was brought to light to us as well,
Yes.
that we didn't know we could possibly ask for more.
Yeah. Last year it went from 22 to 24, and 22 it went from 21 to 22, and in 20 it went from 19 to 21.
What are similar sized communities doing?
I don't know off the top of my head. I would have to look into,
I know that last year, we did have that information.
Yeah.
You have it there, Clint?
Well, so this is what we had last year here.
Okay.
We looked at the, kind of the four-county area for towns, our population-ish. The average for, these are actually 2022 numbers, they were the most recent that the state auditor's office had, but that was 2,200, and last year we were at 21, right?
Last year we were at
22.
22, okay,
We
so
went
we
from
were right,
22 to 24.
we were at that average, last year. With the increase we made, we went to the 24 then.
But we don't know what the others.
Yeah, we don't know, yeah. These
And,
numbers are-
and the data that we collected was what people had in 22,
Yeah, that was.
and that was in 24 for us.
Mhm. Yeah.
I like your thought of the increase, but I'd like to see us get to 28, and then set the increase at the cost of living increase annually after that.
Boy, you're not bashful, are you?
No?
So does that reset then? So if you look in here, it says 28 is 00, the city's contribution.
Mhm.
And then it says 29 is 536, so if we went to
It's
28.
gonna depend on our investment.
Depends on the investment,
It
100%.
could possibly go back to 0 for 29.
It could.
It could.
2,000. Okay,
It could be $500 too,
okay.
or $1,000. We don't know that yet.
Life's a risk.
I could be persuaded to go either way, possibly not both.
Yeah, I have no preference really. I'm well pleased with the fire department we have.
Absolutely, I am too. So if we went with the 5%, essentially it gives us a little cushion in here probably.
Yeah.
If we went with the 28, the 5% is possibly taking away any type of cushion we have. And we are staring down a 13% levy right now. So if we moved it to 28, I would say then we don't implement a cost of living raise, we make them come back and beg for it so that we can see where it's at each time.
Absolutely, I'd be great with that.
Or we just implement the percentage. Clinton, as a administrator, do you have an opinion on this?
Well, it's like Jeremy's saying, you know, we've had such good returns, you said the same thing for how many years. But the city itself is not putting an additional amount of money into the relief accounts because of that.
Right.
You know, and there are years that we did $1,100 a year, whatever it ended up being, to balance things
A
out.
fairly
but-
minimal amount.
Yeah, right.
Just because we gave them an increase last year, I would rather not go to the full 28 this year.
Okay. How about this? How about if we split hairs, we go to 26, and then starting for 27, we will just do the 5% increase. How does the council feel about that?
So, from 24 to 26 for fiscal 2026.
Right, so that would, and that would take on the fiscal year of '26, so then for fiscal year of '27, we would just
5%,
implement a 5% increase per year.
beginning in 27.
That's my motion.
So we roughly 2,900, 23.
I'll second the motion.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay. So we have two opposed.
Abstain.
I assume you're opposed?
Yeah, I'm gonna be opposed to that.
So we have 2-1-2. Does the motion carry on the voting members or on the members present, or how do we do it?
I always thought it was members present.
Okay. Well, the motion doesn't carry.
And Kyle, you're the descending vote, what is your concern?
I don't have a concern, I think we should give them something. I personally, they've shown a good track record for returns, whether that's luck or skill. I think we should just give them what they're asking for.
Well, like I said before, I could go either way. I could give them the 28, but I wouldn't necessarily implement that 5% increase then. We'd want to watch it
I
a little
agree
closer.
with that, if we give them.
And I can go either way on that, I'm
Just
fine
Give them
either
the full
way.
amount, that we gotta recheck next year. This is a one-time thing.
Somebody, is that a motion then?
Make that motion that we do the full amount this time and then make them come back next year.
Effective fiscal year 26.
I can second. All in favor?
Aye.
302. Motion carries.
Thank you. The Janesville firefighters appreciate it.
You are more than welcome. We appreciate them. Okay, consent assessment agreement for 125 North Main.
Yes, 125 North Main has some sanitary sewer fixes that are needed. We can do a consent assessment like we've done in years past for properties. What happens is the city will cover the cost of that repair, and then we will place on there as a special assessment over 4 years. This one, the bid came, you saw the paperwork, it came in at $9,000 to make the repairs. So that's all laid out in that resolution. And you notice we did receive all signatures for all parties involved, so it's pretty much a formality tonight to approve this.
Motion to approve resolution 2025-17.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to adjourn? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
7